What's up YouTube, my name is Mistic and welcome to Mistic Reacts. Today I'm watching a video by Big Tugg. I've never watched a video of theirs, but I got recommended a video of someone reacting to this video, so I decided, yeah, I like Dollar Tree, dollar stores, so why not watch this? It's what makes dollar stores so cheap. My guess is that they are technically cheap, but going to something like a Walmart would over time be a lot cheaper, because the more stuff you buy at once, buying in bulk, the more you save. And at dollar stores, you definitely aren't buying in bulk. You're buying like one-use things. So they profit by upcharging you convenience, because the nearest store to you probably isn't a Walmart. It's probably a dollar store or Dollar Tree. So you go there more often, you spend more money than you should. It's just $1. But if you went to like Walmart, you could probably get, 3 times that flour for probably the same price, maybe 10 cents more. That's my guess on how they still maybe afford stuff and profit.
Hello, children.
And why
Welcome
it's
to the
cheap.
fantabulous world of Extra
It's
Tugg,
not
full of
actually cheap.
educational and children-friendly content. That's definitely what this
Mine's
is. So
not.
come on in. It's only $4 a month, and it's a lot of fun.
If you're a child, go away. Go away. Extra Tugg is not family friendly or child friendly. Neither is Mistic.
Perks. Chris, why would you put that on the screen? You're ruining it. You're ruining it for everybody. If I asked you what's the most popular retail chain in America, you'd probably say something
Walmart.
stupid like CVS, Walgreens, Dwayne.
Oh, is retail different from grocery store? Okay, then probably Dollar Tree, dollar store.
Reed, or
Or gas
Walmart, or
stations.
Target, or perhaps BJ's.
Okay, Walmart.
Do you guys love BJ's? I love BJ's. That's a real store in New England, and it's very popular. But holy shit, how did they not see that marketing-wise? But the biggest retailer in the
they definitely saw they probably knew.
US by number of stores is actually Dollar General. In fact, there are more dollar stores in America than every Walmart, Target, McDonald's, and Starbucks combined.
Oh,
Who doesn't
really?
love going down to the dollar store and picking up a new flavor of Faygo? Look, they got cotton candy
What
flavor
is
for
that?
only 25 cents. A fitting price for such a disgusting abomination. Oh no, it's not.
I'm so sad. I don't go to Dollar Tree that much because I don't really have one near me. But when I used to go to one, the last time I went there, it changed from $1 to $1.25, and they have like $5 item sections. That was soul crushing. That was soul crushing. The only time I go to Dollar Tree anymore is to get this one, like, face cream that I like. That's the only time I go there anymore.
25 cents. It's
Which was like 2 years ago.
$1.25.
I just bought a shit ton of it.
It's a dollar store. Why are we going over $1?
Yeah.
What for a Faygo?
Why?
What the f? I just don't get how you're gonna lie about selling me.
Or the 99-cent store, or 5 and under, or is it 9 and under? I don't know. They might have
For
changed
$1,
it.
and then not only that, sell me something that should be literally a nickel. It's cotton candy Faygo, and you're gonna charge $1.25 for that?
Yeah.
Have some
It's
credibility.
bullshit.
But that's just the thing. Hardly anything in the dollar store actually costs $1.
I miss these, like, saving things so much. I miss
Anymore.
coupons.
They're all liars.
Damn,
they all sell things
couponers
more than
ruined it
$1,
for
and
all
it's
of
in their
us.
name. It's damn right unconstitutional. It's like if you found out I had a super small penis. I mean, my name's Big Tugg. I gotta be packing down there.
Oh.
Start a rumor that I'm packing down
I
there.
just
And
met
honestly,
ya.
I can't think of one good reason why the dollar store would need to charge more than $1. Inflation, that's made up, print more money. But still, with prices so relatively low, it's no wonder that studies show nearly 90% of Americans have shopped at a dollar store in the last year alone. However, other research suggests that as many as 36% of shoppers use these stores at least 3 times a month. And between 2008 and 2020, food sales at
September 12th, 2005. That's my birthday. I mean, it makes sense that people buy from these a lot because, like, I'm out in the country. The nearest grocery store is, like, quite a distance. But there's, like, $3 stores near me. So, obviously, I'm going to default to those. But even though they're not cheaper,
stores nearly doubled. Now, is it because that's really sad because financial times hit hard and we had to get our meat at a dollar store?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why it happened.
Well,
I
actually,
would assume. But man, come on down for the steakums, kids. We got it at the dollar store. You just know it's poison. Every line in that is poison. So not only are dollar stores everywhere, but they're quickly becoming a consistent component of the American diet. During a 2020 earnings call, Dollar General CEO Ted Vasso said, "We do very good in good times, and we do fabulous in bad times."
Right.
He loves the pores, Teddy. Honestly, if everything's going so good all the time, sounds like you could probably afford to keep your shit under $1 there, Ted. But considering today's dollar is worth 47% less than it was 25 years ago, Ted's fabulous bad time seems to be here to stay. Tuglets, it's time to dig between the cushions of your couch and find the spare change, because today we're taking a trip to the dollar store and we're gonna figure out what the hell's going on over there. And also, do people find change between the cushions anymore? I mean, I haven't had a couch good enough to have cushions. It's usually one slate of fabric. And even then, I mean, do people have loose change in their pockets anymore? I remember going between the cushions and getting ice
in my pockets. I do have like a few nickels. Actually, I only keep quarters in my wallet. If I ever get like a dime, a nickel, or a penny, I just put it in like a change jar to one day spend.
Money.
Or go through and hope for $1 million penny.
Anymore. Chris, you can go to the next segment whenever you want. I'm just going to be talking about the ice cream man for a while. The roots of discount retail stretch back so far that they predate the era when a dollar was considered cheap. It's hard to think about now, but there was a time in America when a crisp George Washington was actually worth something. Not filling up space in your pockets. What are you going to get for $1 nowadays? A cow tail? Plus, Chris, put up a picture of a cow tail. They're delicious, but they're fucking disgusting. Back in 1788, a dollar was worth $30. You think I don't get money. How can that be true? Which is why the first discount stores were actually called 5 and 10 cent stores. Hey, nah, you see? The first of which was created in 1878 by the most 1878 name I've ever heard in my life, Frank Winfield Woolworth. Holy shit, that is an entrepreneur. Woolworth did live up to his name, however, becoming wildly successful by creating the first 5 and dime stores. The business model was so lucrative that it was quickly duplicated by other stores, spawning some of America's first chains, including what would eventually become the 20th century retail giant Kmart. Remember Kmart? That's why I said 20th century giant, because that's not around no more.
Yeah, I remember going to Kmart, that place. I didn't like it. Their music was too loud. There was too many people. It was just too much for me. But I think I did go there for like the closing down thing.
They failed spectacularly. Maybe I'll make a video about that one day. But we're going to be talking about the dollar store today. But of all the 5 and dimes, none were as successful or as influential as the 20th century Ben Franklin stores. Now, naming your store after a founding father is a bold move, especially when you're picking Benny Franklin, because that dude was a pervert. I mean, not only did he invent lightning rods, bifocals, and glass instruments played with wet fingers called the harmonica, but Franklin wasn't just inventing things, he was also a cocksmith. The dude loved him some French. He loved a French more than he loved this country. So in his honor,
he's just like me for real, man. He's just like me for real.
We decided as a country to get together and name a cheap little fucking store after him, and I'm sure he would be thrilled if he lived to see the day. Ben Franklin stores were everywhere. At the company's peak, they operated 2,500 locations. And in 1945, a World War II veteran named Sam Walton bought a Ben Franklin in Newport, Arkansas. The store was sold to Franklin for $25,000, and the sellers apparently were quoted as saying, "This dude's buying a lemon." That's not a direct quote. They wouldn't say this dude, but they did call the store a lemon.
Sam Walton. Is that the Walton, not the Walmart people?
If you don't know what a lemon is, it's something that's right out the gate and he's probably gonna fail. But what nobody saw coming was the business IQ of this fucking shell-shocked war veteran. In 3 years, Walton's annual sales topped $250,000, which in today's money is about a trillion billion jabinka joints, because that's a lot of money back then. Eventually, Walton struck out on his own, creating a little store called Walmart. That's like the basic principles of Walmart. I
know that because I used to work at Walmart. and they fucked up my knee.
The world's largest retailers were fine-tuned
take a shot every time Mistic mentions their fucking knee injury.
Store, where Walton learned the pricing, merchandising, and layouts that would influence the Walmart model. And you guys know the Walmart model. It's perfect. You get the candy at the checkout aisles. You sell guns in cages next to baby formula. It's perfect. It's America. But it isn't just Walmart that claims roots in the Ben Franklin stores. This shit was wildly influential, turns out. In 1953, a Ben Franklin was purchased by K.R. Perry, whose son would eventually take up the family business by opening up a Dollar Tree in 1986. Remember the Dollar Tree? It's the whole point of the video. I've been enjoying that. I can't fucking write a script for the of me, but I'm glad I hope you've been enjoying this. Hope you get all your fun facts. I'm burnt out, guys. I can't do this forever. But it was 3 decades earlier in the 1950s when dollar stores began to take the shape we recognize today. Dollar General opened up in Springfield, Kentucky in 1955, and Family Dollar of Charlotte, North Carolina followed just 4 years later. Dollar General expanded to 29 stores and was doing annual sales of $5 million just 2 years after opening. And Family Dollar opened up 100 stores in its first decade, and then they opened up another 100 stores just a year after that. They were booming.
I've only seen growth. One
Chris
of those.
Put up a chart. The 50s facilitated their spread because of the growth of the American suburbs and small towns after World War II. Dollar stores filled that gap of affordable and convenient shopping. Come on down, we're selling hams today. Plus big box stores like Walmart, they weren't even existing yet. You had to wait.
I've been eating like a quarter thing of ham like every week recently. I'll get like a 2-pound, $10 thing of ham and just like eat it plain for like a week and come
that shit. And even when they did, they tended to grow at a slower pace. But this was the genius of the dollar store, and the reason they spread across the country like a weed. They require so little overhead, gang. So little overhead. Their buildings, inventories, and employees are a fraction of those needed by regular retail shops. Because I'll let you in a little secret, okay? If you have an entire store dedicated to shit.
Okay, I'm gonna say I know this because I was considering applying to one, and I was like, oh fuck no. Their cashiers basically do the job of everything: stocking, cleaning, cashiering. Because I was originally gonna try and be a stalker, but yeah, no, I never want to be a cashier ever. Also, those stores are like always have like boxes. They're very messy, so they need to get a dedicated
that costs less than $1. You can only imagine how little that costs to actually produce and sell. They were making a crazy margin on all this shit. Smaller footprints allows them to thrive in communities often overlooked by bigger retailers and places where it isn't practicable or profitable to run a Walmart. And these places that I just described also happen to be full of the most desirable clientele for the dollar store. The poors. Dollar General CEO Ted Vasso says that their average customer is a woman in a dual income household that earns less than $40,000 before taxes. Yikes. And has
I made $10,000 last year, not including deductions, taxes, and stuff eBay took from me. Yay!
About 800 of disposable income per year. It's not a great situation to be in. This makes much of rural America a prime spot for their industry. However, 75% of Americans nowadays do live within a 5-mile radius of a dollar store. So how does that amount of expansion make sense with the average demographic of a discount shopper? These dollar stores aren't just in the shanty towns. They're in nice suburbs, and they're around the rich people. So how is that going down? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of show where I bring up the fact that shit's pretty bad right now, and it's been pretty bad for a while, and it doesn't look like it's getting better.
Oh, it ain't.
The rich people are poor now. A Pew study found out that in 1971, 61% of Americans lived in middle-class households, which earned 2/3 of all income. And in 2023, only 51% of Americans were middle class, which earned less than half of all income. And I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers out here. It gets a little confusing when you start thinking about how bad things actually are, but they're important in this discussion because you can quote me on this. Chris put up on the screen, numbers are business. That's the first thing they teach you in business school. You like numbers? Because that's business.
I don't like
numbers. What I'm saying is the middle class is shrinking, and that's a great thing for people who own dollar stores. To quote Vasso, as this economy continues to chug along and create more of our core customer, Jesus Christ, that's so dark, I think there's going to be more and more opportunities for us to get in and build more stores. That's so up. I'm sure we're thinking of it in the wrong context. I'm sure he's talking to people who aren't poor, but oh my god. And this leads us to the consequences of the dollar store strategy.
Very
While they
evil.
often like to position themselves as businesses that do good for the community by helping consumers stretch their dollar while providing access to shopping and under.
These stores are definitely a factor in keeping people just a little poor. It's definitely not the main factor by any means. But if they went to like a more, grocery store or something, they would probably save. If they're buying the same things, they would probably save a lot of money. But that's not including the factor of like more options, buying more and stuff.
Certain areas, they actually play a role in destroying local communities. And we're going to talk about that. As dollar stores aggressively expand, they're no longer just filling in needs for rural towns and small suburbs. They're competing with local grocery stores and effectively wiping them out. Dollar stores often open up right next door to local businesses.
Oh yeah, they do.
What do you can't compete with someone selling a $1.25 cotton candy Faygo. Reports suggest that it's typical for mom and pop sales to drop by roughly 15 to 30% after a dollar store opens, driving many of them out of business. Studies have found a substantial decline in the number of grocers within a 2-mile radius of new dollar stores, which lead to food deserts. And that's when an area it's really hard to get good, healthy food, so they have to go to like 7-Eleven and buy donuts in order to survive. It's a big issue, and dollar stores contributing to that. And the cycle continues as fewer grocery stores mean more business for dollar stores, leading to more dollar stores opening, destroying even more grocery stores. So at this point, I know what you're asking yourself, Tucker. Is this all this bad stuff you're talking about? Is this all worth the savings? Is this worth the $1.25 Faygo, which is the only item I currently know that sells at dollar stores? But honestly,
you could probably get that Faygo probably cost like 5 cents to make. If you bought it at a Walmart, you probably could get like 6 for like $2. So it's not
that question might be a little bit of a moot point. Dollar stores have a penny pinching reputation that's made them a favorite among thrifty and low income households, but that reputation might actually not be warranted. After all, if you think about it, these stores are making an insane amount of money. In 2024, Dollar General's net sales topped $40 billion, while Dollar Tree raked in $17.6 billion, and Family Dollar made $13.25 billion. How could a business that keeps inventory so cheap make so much goddamn money?
I wonder.
They do it by doing what everyone else does. They over the customers. It's so simple. Why didn't I think of it? One of the most common tactics dollar stores use to increase profit margins is shrinkflation. A very chuggy term, a very millennial term, but it's actually real, so we gotta pay attention to it. The term was coined in 2009 to describe the practice of charging the same amount of money for a product while slightly shrinking its size. Studies find that consumers are less likely to stop buying a product due to shrinkflation than due to a price increase. And they might not even notice a smaller Snickers bar. It might be a quarter-inch smaller. I wasn't paying attention, so give it to them. They don't give a f***. But
I noticed recently, I went to a dollar store, and instead of like certain candies that are usually in a box, they're now in like those paper plastic things, which is definitely a form of shrinkflation, because now instead of a certain box, they can make the plastic thing, smaller. Because I saw like things I'd never seen in those. It was so weird.
Inflation explains why many consumers might not realize that in 2022, Gatorade changed the size of its standard bottle from 32 ounces to 28 ounces.
They probably just didn't notice, because who drinks Gatorade?
Gatorade. Come on now. I need that lemon juice. I need that yellow juice in my body when I get a cold. But unfortunately, shrinkflation is a strategy that dollar stores use to exploit the vulnerability of their primary customer base. Now, considering practices like shrinkflation are going on, it's kind of hard to think about if you're actually saving any money shopping at these stores. And that's why we came up with a brand new game to help you navigate the discounts in the dollar store aisle. It's time to play Deal or No Deal. That cannot be right. That's already taken, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Shut up. I can't say that. That's copyright.
No.
All right, that's why we're playing a brand new game called Thrifty or Shitty. Well, I can't say that over and over. I'm going to get demonetized. Thrifty or Shifty. You dropped the ball on this one, Jimmy. The rules are simple. I'll show you a dollar store item, and then you get to decide whether it'd be cheaper to just get it at a local grocery store. And it probably is, because I love the deals down at Market Basket. More product placement. Go to Market Basket. They over Damula, but the deals are still there. All right, challenge number one, mayo. Put it on the screen, Chris. Got a jar of mayo. This 8-ounce jar of Kraft real mayo sounds like a steal at $1.25, which equals about 15.625 cents.
Isn't it like a full-size bottle like $2 or $3?
per
Shifty,
ounce. Holy,
yeah.
what a steal. But honestly, I've never heard of mayo coming in an 8-ounce increment, so I'm a little bit, I'm already confused and a little bit suspicious. I also hate how it immediately labels itself as real. I know they're trying to differentiate themselves from mayo, what's that shit, Miracle Whip, which is disgusting, but I hate when anyone put, like, made with real sugar.
Real cheese.
What kind of fake sugar can you use? I don't know, calling it real mayo makes it seem like it's a naturally occurring element on this earth instead of being whipped up with a shit ton of oil and eggs. Like,
I mean, it occurs in my pants.
It's not real is a big word. Okay, so it's time to decide, Tugglets. Thrifty or shifty?
Shifty.
Survey says
30-ounce
jar mayonnaise runs about $40 at my local grocery store, which comes in at about 13.3 cents an ounce. Which some of you geniuses out there would notice that is
lower
less
number
than the number I said earlier about the dollar store mayo.
Shifty.
So even though it seems cheaper, you're just buying less. All right, number 2, Thousand Island dressing. I'm pretty sure that's what they put on Big Macs. I've never had it on a salad. Again, we have an example of a weirdly small bottle with this dressing again costing $1.25 for an 8-ounce bottle, or 15.625 per ounce of whatever cents. Whatever. We got that. It's cheap. So anyway, thrifty or shifty? Answer.
Shifty.
It's a little weird, actually. For complete transparency, the 8-ounce bottle available at the dollar store was Kraft, a name brand. And with that in mind, my local grocery store carries a 16-ounce bottle of Kraft Thousand Island for $4.29, which is approximately 26.8 cents per ounce. And that would make the dollar store version of this thrifty. However, if you're already shopping at the dollar store, I don't think a name brand is much of a concern, in which case you can get a generic Thousand Island for $2.49 or 15.5 cents per ounce, which makes the dollar store version of Thousand Island dressing shifty. So I guess you just gotta pay attention to, you gotta bring a calculator to the store, which is so fun when I'm shopping at a discount store. All right, challenge number 3, ramen, the cheapest thing on earth. I remember back when these were 29 cents a packet. I don't know what happened to this country.
Is it not still 29 cents? Or like 50 cents? Because I think at Walmart, I remember like a year or two grabbing them for like a few, like 25, 50 cents. So I think it might be Swifty.
Ramen is pretty much the cheapest way to keep yourself alive on this planet, so I was a little surprised to see the stuff at the dollar store charging $1.50 per pack. That is so much money. You just buy a can of soup for that. But it's a 5-pack, so if you do the math, each one's only about 30 cents, and that's a screaming good deal for a bowl of soup. But ramen noodles occupy a weird space in the culinary world. The type you make at home is incredibly unhealthy, accounting for 72% of your recommended sodium intake per package, and the kind you get at a restaurant melts in your mouth.
Those ramens are actually 2 servings. You're supposed to like put there's like 2 layers. You're supposed to like cut it in half. But who does that? No one does that. You eat it all in one sitting like a true man, okay? That's what I do. True man.
It's the best thing on earth. So it's a weird, I don't get it. But one thing I noticed is a 5-pack of ramen noodles is a little unorthodox. Usually it's a 6-pack. So my suspicion flares are flaring. Is it thrifty or shifty? Answer. Okay, we might be splitting hairs here because ramen is already so goddamn cheap. But you can get a 12-pack at a standard grocery store for $4.99, which is over 41 cents a pack. So this is thrifty, but with a pretty big asterisk. Keep in mind that these bigger packs of ramen do always go on sale. In fact, while I was writing this, you could get a 12-pack of ramen at my local market for $2.99 or a little less than 25 cents a pack. So whatever. Frozen pizza, number 4. This was one of the most shocking items I found in the store because each one of these pizzas...
Can I just say, these pizzas kind of suck at dollar stores. But they're definitely shifty.
$5 each, which is, it's a supreme pizza, but it's still a
well, actually, I think they're like $6 at Walmart. So, in general, they're just a scam.
And it's not even DiGiorno, which is like the best one. So survey says thrifty or shifty. And I thought this was going to be a slam dunk for shifty. No way could anyone in their right mind charge over $5 for a Red Baron pizza. But sure enough, they do. This same thing is being sold at my local grocery store for $5.99. $1 more for Red Baron. What happened to this country? I don't even know how we win this game, folks. I feel like we're losing, no matter what we do. How did it get so dark? This was supposed to be a fun history lesson about the dollar store. What's the next segment? Oh, good. The section is called The Human Cost of a Dollar Store. Fantastic. Dollar stores aren't always a value for consumers, and they often hurt local businesses. But guess what? They are awful to their employees. 92% of Dollar General workers earn less than $15 an hour, which, just in case you weren't paying attention, $15 an hour is not livable anywhere in the United States.
I made 15 something at Walmart a few years ago, and now I'm not gonna work for anything less than 15
anymore. You could be in Kansas and you're Not only are these staffers underpaid, but they also have to work with the bare bones staffing. Oftentimes, dollar stores only have 2 people working at once. And that makes things really complicated considering that they're always trying to sell balloons at the front of their store. Just one parent trying to buy a balloon for their child that they love will completely f over an entire shift at Dollar General.
Yeah.
Not to mention that since there's only 2 people working, you basically have to do everything. You ring people up, you stock the shelves,
Yeah.
you clean,
That's
go to any
earlier.
grocery store, they have like 40 people doing all those jobs. There are people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year who don't even work remotely as hard. Former dollar store employees report being expected to work long hours with little or no overtime. So not only is this wildly exploitative, it's also extremely unsafe. Without time to take care of stocking, the merchandise piles up in the aisles. I don't know if you've been to a dollar store recently, but it looks like a fucking bomb went off. And federal safety inspections have repeatedly found blocked exits.
I'm so familiar with that cart of boxes and boxes of stuff. Oh, Pringles.
Fire hazards and unsafely stacked merchandise. In 2024, Dollar General paid a $12 million fine to the government for workplace safety violations. And nothing changed. They were just like, yeah, we do that shit. Here's the money for it, but we're not.
They need instead of having fixed prices, they need to do it based on income for like these big corporations.
Not pay these people than it is to.
Because $1 million's nothing
But a
to
blocked
them.
exit is the least of your worries at the dollar store. Because of their lack of security and small numbers of employees, they get robbed all the fucking time.
Really?
Any 50-50 coin flip, if you walk into a dollar store, it's currently in the middle of a mugging. In Dayton, Ohio, 81 criminal incidents were counted by police at dollar stores in 2023. And while the majority of them involved theft, several of them were robberies. Robberies are incredibly common at the dollar store. And I know they're an easy target because they got one dude called Todd running the shop, but how much money could you squeeze out of a fucking dollar store? I'm sure they have 20.
I don't know why, but I just remembered. I used to have like. Never mind. That's embarrassing to say.
Behind the register. But man, they think it might be worth it because people die a lot during these. According to data from the Gun Violence Archive, 172 people have been injured in Dollar General stores since 2014, and nearly 50 have died. That's too many. I mean, death is always a tragedy, but we're averaging 5 a year here. One Ohio Dollar General employee named Dave Dukes actually experienced 3 armed robberies, so many that the company sent him to other stores in the region to train employees on how to handle themselves while a gun is being pointed at them. But after his 3rd robbery, Dukes hit his limit and he started bringing a gun to work. I don't fucking blame him. And of course, he got robbed again at Dollar General and he fucking shot the dude and killed somebody. All of this.
Honestly, I hope Dollar General paid his bail. They probably did. They probably didn't. They probably fired him. He went to jail, but
over cotton candy Faygo. All right, this is bad. This was not as fun as I thought it was going to be. We got to make this fun. Okay, goofy dollar store names in other countries. That's more like it. Okay, we'll end on a fun note. We'll just talk about how the Europeans name their dumb shit. In Germany, you get 1 euro shop, which is pretty boring. Japan has 100 yen shops, which is kind of fun. I don't get why Asian countries have denominations of money that are so much, though. I don't get that. Like, they're like, oh yeah, that hamburger.
I mean, just add a dot, 2 zeros in.
Costs 1,400 yen. Just make it 14. Take a couple zeros off that bitch. I don't know why we do that. Like South Korea,
I mean,
1,000.
If we put our dollars in a cents, it would look the same pretty much.
Won shop. Like, make it $1. Why? Just cut the zeros off of it. Vietnam, 10K stores. You see what I'm saying? Dollarama in Canada. That's fun. That's a fun one. The UK used to have a 3-penny stores, which sounds dumb, but now they have Poundland, which is where I took your mother last night.
No, I took your mother there. Okay. So.
Of course, Poland has,
That just looked like a keyboard smash. Wizzy Skio Old 5.
I have no clue. I don't know. Chris, put it on the screen. I have no clue how to say that. There's a 5 in there.
Oh, the 5 is
watch. Nothing like a little xenophobia to take the edge off. But before I go, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I don't think it's bad to shop at the dollar store. I don't think it's a bad thing to do. And I'm not shaming anyone for doing it. You guys aren't the problem. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes you can really stretch your George Washington shopping at these fine retailers. However, I think it's important to realize just how these stores work, and that's by feeding off of our misery. They give less, they charge more, they destroy small businesses, businesses and create practically death traps. As one retail researcher expertly put it, what the dollar stores are betting on in a large way is that we are going to have a permanent underclass in America, based on the concept that the jobs went away and the jobs are never coming back, and that things aren't going to get better in any of these places.
Yeah.
Well, on that super fun note, thanks for watching Big Tugg. New videos every
That's
Saturday
so
and sometimes
happy.
Wednesday. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things. Shout out the extra Tugglets.
Hell yeah. Aren't you happy now after watching this video with me? Aren't you so happy with how the world's going? Huh? Okay, have fun going to dollar store tomorrow. Okay, bye. Until next time, bye.